and then I would have it. And Mark, I just got, so Zoom keeps changing. I just had another message I had to click O2 to. I had to click OK to, because it says this is being live streamed. Like, hasn't
Yes.
everything we've always been doing been live streamed? So why is that different? I don't ever remember checking that before.
Yeah, yeah. This is a caster service, live stream service.
I understand, but I don't understand why it hasn't had me
Yeah,
had to click that before.
right. It just wants authentication, I guess. Yeah.
By the way, on an iPad, which is what I'm using here, the phone, excuse me, the camera, way over on the side. I'm putting my finger almost over it, and it's not sort of up in the corner, a little bit weird location. So I am in Evanston, where I'm going to be spending the next 9 days. I'll be here until a week from Sunday. Then we'll drive back to Boise, and this was about a 5-hour drive for me from our home in Boise. And this is Talk with Wayne. So you guys, questions and comments and thoughts are the most important things here. I do have something that I want to talk about that we'll get to after I see if you guys have got questions and thoughts. And Mark, you're going to have to look at those because I have no idea where to find them on the screen.
Right, I've got the questions open. So far, okay. So, all right. Looks like the chat is disabled, so I might have to enable it. So yeah, wait a second, people.
Yeah, that was a problem last week, Mark. Remember, you weren't able to be on because of.
Yeah.
We'll let Mark tell us, by the way, what went on with him.
Oh, okay. Right. It started with protesters in my country. They wanted to reform the quota system of government jobs. And then it started with like fights, firing, shooting broke out with police. And then the whole country shut down. So following that, we had curfew, internet shut down, and everything. So after that, now everything is back to normal pretty much. So it was a nightmare. All that I've seen, like things you see on news, I've seen that live. So yeah, it was quite an experience.
And again, everybody, how many of you here in the U.S. that are on this even heard about that in the news? When Mark called me and told me he wasn't going to be able to be on, it was about 11 in the morning, and it's 3 in the afternoon here now, my time. And that would have been 11 at night, his time. And I had to look it up, do a Google search for it to even find it. It wasn't on any of our news. And this was serious. If there were, wasn't it 200 people that died, Mark, right? It's a huge number.
Yep, 200, and mostly students.
And if they would have been that many people that died in a protest in the US, that would have been the very first news item. You would have just heard about it, not just for a day, but for weeks. It would have been what all you'd hear about in the news. So anyway, that's what Mark had put up with, and all of the internet shortage was until how long, Mark? When did you get your internet back?
I got it back yesterday, so it's been like 6 days.
Yeah, look at that. And again, if that happened in the US, we'd go nuts here.
Yeah, you can't imagine without internet, even an hour.
Yeah. So what questions you seen or comments from anybody? Oh, so Mark, why was the chat? We couldn't, any of us last week, figure out how to enable the chat.
Oh,
You do that.
yeah, it's been done now. So people, you can try putting something into the chat, see if it works. Should be working now.
Oh, here's what I'm looking at. I'll show you out. Hopefully you hear me still, but that's a Walmart truck parking next to me. And this parking lot is set up, which is very unusual. You don't see this very many anymore. So that trucks can park here. And not just Walmart trucks, even though it's a Walmart. Literally that, look at next to me over there, there's a trailer with a couple of semi trucks on top of it. There's an All-State Enterprise truck over there. I mean, it's just every kind of, here's a trailer parked right over there. It's just very interesting how this is like throwback. So keep looking for questions, Mark, while I'm going to walk around. I'll show everybody a little bit what Evanston, Wyoming looks like. So here's my truck. You guys have seen this before, but what you haven't seen is my trailer. So this is what I'll be living in over the next 2 weeks. And I'm not going to go inside it, but and I'll be up in the mountains. So those are special springs on there. That's a special kind of a suspension system for four-wheel drive. So there's the Walmart, the parking lot that I'm in. And then, interestingly, as we were making all these drives back and forth a year ago, one of those trips, another truck that we have broke down, and we had to have it towed for 60 miles away from here. So this place right over there, so I hope you're hearing me, but that's called Yeti Motors. And we had to have our vehicle towed to there because it had broken down. And by the way, I can't switch my screen around. That's why I'm not just clicking a button, because my iPad is in a holder, and the camera that's on the other side is hidden. You guys still seeing me? Now my picture's little again, Mark. There, now it got me. Okay. So a little bit of a tour around Evanston, Wyoming. And I'm going to, I can see chat now. Let me pull up and see if I can see it. Robert said, sorry, Mark. You see that probably. And then in the Q&A, is there a reason to disable the chat on the Zoom call program here? No, not really. And again, we've now got it started again. All right. Just looking for other questions. I rarely use this to do. So you know what, Mark, is this being recorded? Because on mine.
Yeah, it's recording.
I can still have a record key that I could hit. I'm not going to do it, obviously. I'm going to see if I can open my screen because I want to show something on ChatGPT. I was actually thinking about trying, and I was seeing it before. Robert had a question. What was that, by the way? Let me see what that was. Did you say that you have Skylink service? I have Starlink, and it will be what we use when I get up into the mountains, which is about an hour drive from where I'm at here. So as soon as I finish the webinar here today, which we're gonna make this a little shorter today. I'm going to be driving up to the mountains where there's no internet there, there's no cell service there, there's nothing. So I will use Starlink there. Starlink is Elon Musk's system in Colorado for what, Mark? The last 3 or 4, as long as it was available, at least 2 or 3 years. That was the internet service that we had there. Where we're at now in Idaho, we have a much better area-wide Wi-Fi system. So we don't have Starlink because it's the system we have is much better. And wow, is Jasper on fire? Am I seeing, Robert? Is that what you're saying? Jasper is a beautiful resort town. So a little bit of local news for me. The largest fire in terms of numbers of acres consumed in the United States right now is burning very near to me in Oregon. It's called the Durkee Fire, and it is completely out of control. In other words, it's not zero, it's 0% contained. It's like, don't quote me on the number, but 260,000 acres and zero control, which means, and there's over 600 firefighters fighting it. There's been several others. Well, those were all started earlier in the week, or even a couple of them weeks ago. And we had a front come through yesterday. We set a record yesterday for a number of days in a row in Boise that the temperature was over 100 degrees. And the record's 9. So we had 9 days in a row. Well, this front came through yesterday with thunderstorms, lightning, but also rain. And the rain actually did help a lot of these big wildfires that are burning in Oregon, not very far from us. The interstate between us and the West Coast, which is I-84, so going to Portland, was shut down for almost 2 days. Now, there are other highways, so it's not like we were completely isolated. I see. Beautiful mountain town of Jasper succumbs to wildfire is a YouTube video. And that's something that sounds like it occurred earlier. That's not something going on right now. I got it. I was not interpreting that properly, I don't think, until right now. This parking lot here is just this mad rush of other vehicles. Those 2 trailers right next to me, right over there, have just come in while I'm sitting here. There's another one that just came in right there. And now it is summer. This is Wyoming. People come here from all over the country. Garf Automotive. This is a brand new truck that's pulling that trailer with those solar panels on the front of it right over there. So let's see if I figure out how to get to chat GPT. And if I can't, Mark, I'll have you open it up and you share your screen.
Oh, okay.
But I think I can do it. I think I can go to Google Drive. No, I just want to go to, yeah, this will work. I can go right here. Well, I don't know. Are you seeing my screen now, which is just says Zoom on it?
No.
Okay. So again, on the iPad, it works very different. Oh, I see. And it keeps saying to start the broadcast, and yet we've already started. I don't get it. So I'm going to try sharing something else. Oh, I know. I got it. Now I know what to do. I keep clicking. You see my finger there because I'm trying to get the share. So website URL. I don't have Chat GPT memorized. You know what? It's going to be easier if you go into it, Mark. Why don't you go in? Because I can tell you just what to type.
Oh, okay. So let me open that up. All right. So I have ChatGPT open.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing your screen. I'm not seeing
Okay.
all I see two images of myself.
No, I haven't shared my screen yet, so I will do that. Okay. So you should be seeing my screen in a second. Yep. So here it is.
All right, cool. So a little preface of this. As of a week and a half ago, I am, as a big part of my life again now, I am part of a team, a very amazing team that are buying distressed real estate assets. And I would ask everybody that's on this webinar, everybody that watches the replay, be thinking about where you live. And if you know of any commercial, industrial, not houses, not fields, but industrial or commercial properties that are either currently shut down, closed, vacant, or almost closed, vacant, and the owners would just as soon shut them down, close, and vacate them, but they don't, because you've heard me say this before. As long as you just have one employee sitting in a guard shack, you do not have to deal with a lot of our environmental regulations here in the United States. It's a loophole in a way in which property owners can avoid doing things. So what we're going to use Chat GPT for today is to search for, and you're going to use 4.0. So we own, by the way, everyone, what's called OpenAI Plus. And therefore, we have a whole bunch of options of different things we can use. We also have something called Air PPM, which is in the background on this page that you see on Mark, that gives us a whole bunch of other prompts we can use. So go up there and click on the Chat GPT 4.0, Mark, to show the people what the other options. So we could also do just 4 or 4N, which I'm not even sure of what that is. It says it's faster than every day. Let's just do something and click on that 4N, Mark. Let's start a new chat. So then Mark's going to go to a new chat. The next one down, Mark. Not that one. That's 4.0. That one. Yep. And then start a new chat. Click up on the button on the left. All right. Say, tell me how current your information is, because I think these new 4.0s are more current. And you've got to spell how right, Mark. Yeah, you did it. Yeah, you got it. You got it right. Sorry. There we go. I guess maybe you didn't. How current your information is. That's all. Just put a question mark. July 24th, 2024. That's yesterday, everybody. Right? Or is it 2 days ago? Is today the 25th or the 26th?
Today's 25th.
Do you remember when it was current to, back when Chat GPT started? Like 2021, not anything up to the most recent past. So it's so much more powerful now than what it used to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to search for certain by using good prompts, which again, remember the old story, garbage in, garbage out with ChatGPT. And we're going to do some prompts that help us find some assets. So let's use this one, Mark. Put this question in. A new chat also. Start another new one. So click on that. All right. Please tell me about how many coal-fired power plants have closed in the US. Coal-fired, or powered's all right. Power plants have closed. Fired would be better way than powered. And here's where you got to get the right words. Power plants have closed in the US, USA, put USA, in the last 2 years.
That it?
It's probably, is it thinking? I don't see it moving.
No, I didn't hit enter yet.
That's it. Hit enter. Hit enter.
Okay.
35 to 40 have closed. Is that the end of it?
Yeah.
All right. Please keep it in this thread. We want it to learn from itself. Please tell me the names of 10 of these plants that have closed. The names of 10 of these plants. You got at least, yeah, you got to put a space there.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and enter. Okay, here we go.
I see part of the screen is covered with a black.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, Mark. Remember we've had that happen before. I don't know why that does that. I don't think it's from, maybe it is from me. I don't know.
No, it's I need to figure that out. I'll deal with it later.
So now let's say, all right, thank you. All right, thank you. Give me the names of 10 more. Remember, it told us there were 35 to 40. Once you start the thread, you don't have to put, give me the names of 10 more power plants. It's going to do. Right? We're up to 20. And you say, tell it, thank you again. Thank you. How about giving me the names of 10 more? Okay, we're up to 30. And by the way, some of these are going to be, what's the word, everybody? There's something when something's false. What is it if one of these, and we're going to look each of these individually up here in just a little bit. What is it that we call it? What is Chat GPT or OpenAI doing when it gives you bad information? What's the term?
Hallucinating, right?
Right. All right, we got 30 now. Let's see if it'll give us 10 more. Say, all right, give us 10 more. All right. See, now it's up to 40. I don't want to test this. So now we're going to start going back and looking at some. I don't think all these are closed. I think this is hallucinating, and it might be giving, like Robert said, the numbers globally, but these are all in the U.S. Um, so let's go back to the very first one. Let's try. Um, give me the address of closed Brayton Point Power Station. Address is spelled wrong. You got to have two D's in there, Mark. As well as a website for it.
And as for the website as well?
Yeah, and also a URL of its website if it has one. No, you don't want the website, but that's all right. It's probably works.
Okay.
Go ahead. Brayton Point Summer being closed. All right. There is Massachusetts. So let's ask it now. Who currently owns the Brayton Point Power Station site? Okay, everybody. Who bought that? Who is that? Mark, you should know the answer to this one. Look who bought that.
Brayton Point
Well,
LLC.
no, no. Look a little more carefully. Your box is over a little bit of it, but look at the next line. I'm pretty sure where the box is, it says Brayton Point LLC, which is a subsidiary of
Industrial Realty.
Group.
Yes,
Who is that?
IRG.
That would be Mr. Stu Lichter.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
now let's go to the next one on that list, number 2.
Okay.
We got the same questions. Please give me the address of the number 2 site, Colstrip Power Plant. You can put the whole thing, Colstrip, Montana, on there if you want. Please give me the address and URLs of any associated websites. You can do it that way.
OLP. Oh, okay. I will.
Yeah, you got your prompt sucks right now, Mark. You got to make sure you get it up to where it makes sense. It doesn't make any sense right
Okay.
now. And maybe it's not websites. I would say, and also URLs of any websites associated with it.
Okay. I think this will work.
Okay. Okay. It says it's has been closed or is in the process. There may not be a dedicated website. Says formerly the owner is Talon Energy. And okay, so now put who currently owns the Colstrip power plant? All right, those are power companies. So that one's not like the last one. That's one that we would look at, that we could get really interested in potentially buying. I've been to that site. I actually spent some pretty cool time at that site back a long time ago. Let's put this one in. Let's learn a little bit more about it. When was this site? When was the Colstrip power plant opened?
Opened?
Open, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's relatively
75. Wow.
Yeah. And look at it, says there's Unit 3 in 1901, Unit 4 in 1906. Tell it, here's where it's lying, Robert. Yeah, here's where it's hallucinating. That's either got to be 2001 or 2006, not 19. Say, come on, how can Unit 3 and Unit 4 have started operations in the early 1900s? I think it did start in 1975. That's about right. I was there in 1980. I wasn't going to tell you exactly the year before because it makes me feel old every time I do that date. How can the Unit 3 and Unit 4 locations have, no, you got to get this right. Locations have started, how can they have started? How can the Unit 3 and Unit 4 locations have have started? Yeah, early 1900s. When? Well, you can.
Sorry.
That's all right. You can always 1984 and 1986, right? Isn't that what that's saying?
Yeah.
Oh, that still says 1904. Or are those eights, Mark? I can't read the. Are those eights?
Yeah. 84, 84 and 86.
84 up above. Look up above. Maybe I was the one that was reading that wrong. No, up.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. I just 84, 86.
All right. Okay. How many acres does this site have?
$2,000.
1,000. It's a big site. Yeah. Um, let's go back. So scroll up, Mark. If I was doing it, I could just scroll back up. So the owners. Let's try Talon because I think Talon's the leader. Let's say, please give me a URL for Talon Energy's website and an email for a contact person at Talon Energy that could tell me about the Colstrip power plant. And it's probably not going to, that can tell me about the status of the Colstrip power plant.
Of the, what is the name? Colstrip power plant. Okay. What did I, the email. Okay. All right. Contact info at.
Got some of them. Good. Okay. All right. What we would continue to do here, we're not going to do it right now, but I'm showing you how this works.
Mm-hmm.
Way better And I don't think it's been hallucinating here, and easier than a search would be, either on Bing or Google. So
Right.
AI's power is really good here. So we'd go through this whole list of 40 just to find out those. But let's ask it one other question here now. Can you please give me the names of 20 additional cold power plants that are planned to be closed within the next 10 years?
That are
Planned to be closed, that are planned to be closed, could be scheduled to be closed.
okay. Closed recently or
No, that are planned to be closed in the next 10 years.
in the next 10 years. Okay. Names. Okay. So I'll hit enter.
Yep,
Okay.
there we go. Now, are we seeing any of these that look like the same as others we've already seen? I don't remember whether any of those are on that list.
Yeah, we had like 30 before, right?
Yeah, but those
Already.
were ones that are already closed, Mark. Again,
Yes.
you got to be thinking through what you ask as questions. And now we're
Yeah.
asking about those planned to be closed.
Right.
I'm looking at one that's got a really good location here. Let's see if I see one. See, here we go. Colstrip. It had already told us that was closed, and now it's on the list. And I remember Navajo was on it too. So there's some overlap here. Some of those that were on the list for closed are not yet closed. That's all right though, because all we're trying to use this for is to give us really good information about how to reach out and get the right people to find out if we could buy these. Let's look Pawnee up because it's close to where I lived in Colorado, Brush. Look up Pawnee Power Plant. Say, give me the planned closure time for Pawnee Power Plant.
Closure time.
Planned, planned, planned. PLANNED. Planned.
Schedule or time.
Closure time. Closure, and closure spelled wrong. It's URE. Not closer, closure.
CLU.
CLOSURE.
Pawnee. Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
29.
Okay. Please give me the name of the owner. Let's just say name. The name of the owner of the Pawnee Power Plant.
Excel.
And that's a local electric company in Colorado.
Okay.
Well, we're going to stop here because, like I told you, we're going to make this a little shorter today because I've got a tough drive still to do. But that's, guys, you got to start using ChatGPT for all kinds of things. You can learn so much from it. We 2 weeks ago, I think it was, we wrote the whole first part of a phase one. I think it was last week actually, that for an Alaskan resort. That's something you can get paid $1,500 to do. So being economic here is figure out how to use ChatGPT to make money. I am going to hit the road. Let's see. Is there any other questions, Mark, that I haven't gotten to?
I'm looking at questions. Okay, no, I don't see anything new. Robert says, okay, this already been addressed. So ChatGPT version need to address the world-class line. All right, so and then here Robert says 1904. No, that was 84.
Yeah,
Robert,
I read that wrong. I wasn't seeing that. Right.
okay.
All right.
So it's good to get a fact check. All right, definitely we can get a cross check.
Well, that's
And uh, then Robert says, drive safely, Wayne. See you next time.
see you next week, everybody.
Keep the shiny side up.
Yep. Rubber side down, shiny side up.
Right. Alicia says, city of Baltimore restores 10,000 square foot wetland
Yeah.
and helps nature in the
Yep.
inner
That's
city.
very cool. Good info.
Yep.
Everybody keep
Awesome.
writing stuff in. I'm just going to get off. Mark, don't close it yet. I'm just going to leave.
Sure.
Shut it down until let people ask questions for a little bit more.
Uh-huh. That's great. So yeah, people keep typing your questions if you have any. And if not, we'll say goodbye for today. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here, spending your time with us. We appreciate it. And please go and visit our website at eatcommunity.com. If you're new to this webinar sessions, you'll enjoy our previous a bunch of webinars we did over the years. So please go and check those out and come see us next week for a live session. So everybody, have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time. And if you have any other additional thoughts, don't forget to let us know. All right, I'm going to sign off. Oh, here's one more. If you'd like, we would like to hear from you. You might want $1,500 for a proposal next time. Yeah, yeah. ChatGPT can, people can make a ton of money using ChatGPT. People are using it for all kind of writing, um, copywriting, website content, blog writing, you name it, proposals. Yeah. So these are good professional writing that you can do using ChatGPT. That's a future. All right. Thanks for that. We'll see you next time. Have a